Shiny. Well, not that shiny. On the road again. Well, I'll have to get more parts. Well, parts that I already had, but they weren't working. I got Gatorade, shampoo, and $1.5 billion. Surely. Got a good feeling about that one. Alright. Time belt showing, brother. That's cool. Nice. That's with a discount, by the way. That's not just the regular price, but, you know, totally worth it. Look at all the scoobs. It's raining. That's not very holly jolly. Ta-da! Tubes. Fluid. The red stuff. Focus. Mission accomplished. Oh, gotta get the food. Also done Christmas shopping. Last time you'll see this stuff for under $1 billion with how much RAM and memory is gonna start costing. You can do it, Lucy. I believe in you. Just kind of, yeah, there you go, sweetie. Good job, Lucy. Yummy, yummy cheese. Merry Christmas, Lucy. Oh, what? Oh, stupid camera. Enjoy. Merry Christmas, Subaru, if you celebrate. A lot of squirrels running around. Merry Christmas, squirrels, if you celebrate. Get a room. Jeez, it's Christmas, for Pete's sake. Right in front of the Subaru. Lucy. Hello, Merry Christmas, Lucy, if you celebrate. Okay. Quick Christmas haul. Rock Auto magnet, pretty sweet. You'll see what that's for, what that came with later. And then this thing, 2002, it's a sedan, but still, that's sick. I'll take it out in a second. And check it out. T-Rex. And then a cool bow. But this thing's sick, hang on. Lizzie, what are you doing? Merry Christmas. Okay, hang on. Oh, there it goes. Alright. Check it out. That is so sick. The little bug eye STI. Got the tail lights. World Rally Blue. Oh yeah. Lucy. We got something for you too, Lucy. Check it out. Oh. 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 Another 70-degree day. Doesn't feel very December-y. First things first, battery was pretty dead. You know, it's very new. So we got this little battery charger, which still shows red. So that's, might not be a good sign. That's full. Well, hopefully it starts. Alright. Fresh foil. Fresh battery, hopefully. Let's see if it starts. Security. that time, it started right up. Maybe it fixed itself. Thanks, Subie. For some reason, the Kenwood looks like it's working perfectly. I mean, once you touch it... Oh. Actually, this looks... I mean, yeah. Vivaldi. We're so back. But cool. Like, this literally looks like mint. Why? It has never looked this good. What happens if I hit nav? It dies. Source? Function? Well, that's interesting. Okay, quick summary. This wheel, to start off with, last episode, I was like, ooh, this is fun. I'll just turn this around a bunch while the steering rack's disconnected. Thank you, YouTube comments, for pointing out that that's really stupid. There's a clock spring in here that can only turn so many times one way or the other before you just break it like an idiot. So I haven't said this enough. Don't do what I do. Do better. Hopefully no one's following along. Anyway, something about being better than me. Don't be an idiot. Kind of sketched out now that maybe this airbag doesn't work. Oh well. Anyway, plan is, first of all, peep the sweet Subie Blob-Eye keychain Christmas present. Thanks, Santa Claus. It's pretty sick. I like it. I mean, it's not 2002, but still, same chassis. In addition, springs and shock absorbers. Also some towels. Thanks, family and or Santa Claus. Not going to put these on today, but we'll put them on soon. Get rid of this low, you can't even see the springs. Oh, you barely can. The lowering springs in there. I'm going to take those off. These things look old anyway. Put on nice new stock OEM suspension. At least that's the plan. And then hopefully also get some, OEM wheels. Might touch those up, and I'll take these off and I'll clean those up. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Today, we have power steering pump. Not quite hooked up, missing the reservoir. I did get the new part from the dealer, which hopefully does not have cross-threaded nuts out of the box. That was super annoying last time. But I'm gonna put that on. I also have Subie, JDM, ODM, whatever, ATF. There was some discussion in the comments. I'm still super confused about it, but the person at Subaru dealership is like, yep, that's the stuff. It's red. Hopefully it smells as good as the last stuff that was leaking out of the car. So, trying to just do power steering today, put the fluid in, and also trying to finish the brake bleeding, since I still haven't quite finished that yet. The pedal just kind of goes to the floor. I mean, you can tell there's just air in it, so try and finish that up as well. Look at how shiny these headlights are. I think they look really good. I just need to get this stupid thing to work. And that, which reminds me, I need to check if the hazards work and the blinkers. One sec. So the blinkers work, at least. I can probably do daytime driving then. It's just the parking lights that don't work, so I can't do nighttime driving because this thing's just blacked out. And then those work. Nice. Well, I'm gonna stop draining the battery. Also, last thing, really curious. I'm hoping I don't have to take this drive shaft off again just to access those little nuts down there. But that might be a thing that has to happen, so we'll see. quick point of clarification from the last episode, as many pointed out correctly, that this is very stupid. Do not put your jack under the oil pan. If it would focus, get some light, whatever. Because otherwise, you know, if you do that, I'll just show you. That's what it ends up doing, is it crushes it. This is supposed to be convex, not concave. So this is stupid. Don't do this. But hey, I'm going to put it on the screen. That was already like that. I didn't do that because I know that the jacking point is right there behind it with that little cross member thing. I would not do that. I'm not that dumb. I mean, I am pretty dumb. But the point being, I didn't do that. It wasn't my fault. It's been like that since I purchased the car, as you can see in whatever I'm doing with the editing right now. And the only reason I have this jack here in the last episode and this one is because, I don't know, paranoia about these Harbor Freight 3-ton jacks that are 10 years old. They're in good shape. There's no rust or anything. I've kept them inside the entire time I've owned them. But like also, it's just like, man, I don't really like being under this car. But, you know, I like working on the car, but it just sketches me out. So like, hey, if I put this under the oil pan, maybe it'll buy me a couple seconds to not get crushed. Because like, real talk, that shit will kill you. So yeah, you know, I'm just trying to be safe, but agree, no, don't jack up your oil pan because you'll crush it like that, and that's not good. All right, back to steering rack. All right, one more Christmas gift that was pretty sweet. We got ourselves a nice big old head lamp thing, and oh, so bright and like curved, so it's gonna light up a bunch. It's got different levels. So also got a strobe if I want to have a seizure or whatever. Yeah, that SOS. I mean, I guess that'll help when I'm under there, but cool. This thing's pretty sweet. Well, here we are again. We got ourselves a piece of crap partsgeek part that had cross-threaded pieces. So it's got to come off. You can see there's where my janky attempt at fixing it was, but there's just no way to get this out. So I got to drop the steering rack again, which means I got to take this off. But I think, you know, revelation so far at a glance, here's our nice, shiny, new, not grimy drive shaft. Look at that. Nice and rubbery there. But like, I can reach up in here and get to these. So I was worried like, oh, I got to take this out to get more room. But honestly, I think I'll be good. Probably just jinxed it, but cool. Let's get to getting this off again. At least I did it once before. Now I know how it's done a little bit. Alright, got some stuff off, about ready to drop the steering rack, just need to disconnect the steering column, and hopefully I can just drop the steering rack. It comes down a little bit. I might have to move the sway bar now that I think about it, which was a huge, gigantic pain in the rear last time, but yeah, let's see how this goes. I hate this part. I hate you, whoever made this, with cross-threaded nuts. Look at all this effort I put in. I could have been done last week. Sigh. Experiencing a bit of deja vu. Intercooler's out. That opens up the steering rack again, which I will now disconnect. And wasn't I just doing this? Alright, time for some more struggling. Hopefully I don't have to do the sway bar. Oh, you know, I think that might be good enough. That's actually pretty not accessible. I might have to drop the whole thing. What a pain. Oh well. Well, tie rod end is off, so I could swing the sway bar clockwise looking this direction out of the way so that I can drop the steering rack, which is annoying because I had to take the castle nut off with that little retainer pin, which I don't really like doing because that retainer pin is now getting strain hardened, and add it to the list of little things to fix or replace later. I don't want to bend this like 20 times. It's just gonna snap. Whatever. Got it off. Sway bar's out of the way. back under the car, see if I can't get the dang steering rack to drop. Now, you drop. Oh, I didn't disconnect this. That's annoying. There you go, bud. All right. There we are. And honestly, I think I can get to everything now. What a pain. Yep. That's one. Hooray. They're out. Piece of junk thing. Oh, jeez. Piece of junk. Off to get the good piece installed under here. All right, we have terrible, no good partsgeek part, which like I spent an hour roughing this up only to have this nut also be cross-threaded and not work, so garbage. But now, unboxing, we have, look at this, the same exact part, but now from Subie. So hopefully these nuts are not freaking cross-threaded. If I can get them to get off of the bend. Come on. All right. Got some O-rings on there. Got them on there as well. Hopefully these nuts, if they'd stop getting stuck on the bend, are not cross-threaded. Genuine OEM Subaru, I hope. I mean, I got it from a dealer, so it gives me some hope that it's not going to be cross-threaded once I'm under there wrestling with the thing. Hopefully this is easier than last weekend. There goes nothing. We're just going to do a tiny dab of Loctite. Thread these around here, and everyone pray that this is not cross-threaded, or else I will lose my mind. So far so good on that one. Alright, that seems to have worked. Where's the 17 mil wrench? Hooray! A part that fits. I think that's good. Alright. Now I just gotta push it back into place and wrangle with it some more. Bench press. Oh yeah, I should have worked out more. Sway bar's back. I think time to torque things down. All right, I haven't been filming, too lazy, but steering rack's back up there. Sway bar's attached. These are attached. Right now I'm just gonna try and true it up a little bit. This one looks pretty straight, but other side, it's a little bit crooked in that way. So I'm gonna adjust that while I'm out here. I might do a string alignment later, but also still need to bleed the brake. Don't forget to keep your calorie intake up. 90 per piece. That's what you need. These things are good. I'm going to torque these guys down. Now for the impossible part. No idea how much you'll be able to see, but hopefully you get the gist. These are impossible to reach. You can see about as much as I can, chat. This is going to be trickier than I had first thought. I don't think I'm going to be able to film this. They're on. That was the most difficult bolt. The big one was way more difficult. The little one, easier to get to. Oh my god. I ended up zip tying just to pull these a little out of the way to line them up better, but I got those on. Not sure if you can see. I got a little bracket That's connecting these two lines together, and those are both going up to the steering pump. Oh my god. Alright, so everything's connected now, I think. Status update. Everything under there is connected. Not sure how much you can see without the light, but that's all in there. These hoses are routed. I'm about to use this JDM tie wire to secure the reservoir, and then use these tubes to connect the hoses that are there to the reservoir, to the pump, and then fill the reservoir with fluid and then crank it for some amount of time. Getting there. And then now next I gotta figure out this stupid... Okay, so essentially trying to correct the sin that I committed last time, because I was just being a jackass, but I took off the steering column. There's the actual steering, whatever, wheel stick, the wheel shaft, steering wheel shaft. And I watched last video I made, and I think I went too many times clockwise. So I'm going to mess with this a little bit. I'm pretty sure I got it good now. Well, it's back on there after a lot of effort. And now it's sort of close. And you can kind of see what I was doing. Get the key in there. Duct tape it top dead center so I could actually see it from in front of the car. But we got center, and then we go full lock. It's not exactly flat, and then full lock the other way. It's more or less flat. So I think I'm a couple of teeth off, but hey, that's closer. So cool, good enough for me. Let's get this duct tape out of here. Nice. Okay, all the power steering stuff's hooked up, so I think the only thing left is pouring the Subie blood. I already disconnected the fuel pump connector that's in the passenger footwell, so I should be able to just crank it and it won't start. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna fill it to the fill line, crank it a couple of times, and then see what happens. Hope the fuel pump's okay. Hope nothing leaks. We'll see. There's no red power steering fluid under there right now, so if that changes, I'm gonna be sad. Well, it's definitely red. Unfortunately, it doesn't smell nearly as good as... Well, there's the Subie blood. Let's put this on for good measure, just in case. Now I'm just gonna set you there, and we're gonna see what happens when I crank it. I hope nothing explodes. Everything's clear of the belts. do, chat? What's it happening? Nothing. Alright, let's try it again. See if anything happens. Anything? Nope. Is there some way that I have to prime this thing? Hold on. Charging the battery because all this running of the engine without actually running it with the alternator is killing the battery, but that's keeping it alive enough to do this. Look at that. The fluid's finally going down. So not that anyone should be using any of these videos as a guide, but the way I got that to do that is take the top part of this hose off, pour in a little bit of power steering fluid, spill most of it outside of that tube because I don't have a funnel, and just like get it all over the engine everywhere. But then put this back on and then crank it. Before cranking it, wheel to wheel lock like 10 times just without the engine on or anything, and then crank it while also turning the wheel. And the myriad of just random crap that I tried is now getting the power steering fluid from that reservoir into the system, which I think is a good sign. So I'm going to top that off, let the battery charge for a sec, and keep going. Also, when I took this off again to see like, oh, is it primed? Like a bunch spilled out. So I think there is now power steering fluid up in here, which means this guy's making suction. And now what we can do is quickly check any sign. I don't think so of any power steering fluid on the ground so far. Fingers crossed that stays that way. Top it off again. Should make sure everything's clear of the belts. Now, see if we can crank it some more. Oh, it's dying. Yeah, gotta let it charge for a while. And then I'll do some of this action, which hopefully does something with the bubbles in the power steering fluid. Who knows? Time to get the jump starter. Kenwood? Vivaldi? I got distracted by Vivaldi and didn't film it, but it went down like a notch, right? So it's still going, but this battery's becoming the bottleneck. All right, let's try this boy. Yeah, that's more like it. How did that do for our level? It went down quite a bit. Time to refill. Well, that's pretty much dead. This thing is also pretty much dead, so charging that. But after quite a bit of cold cranking, that's still full. So I think it's primed and it's good. Famous last words. And let's check under here. Don't see any red fluid, minus that spot there where I spilled a bunch because I was trying to prime the thing. Look at that. Hopefully we're all good. Take a peek under the thing. No red fluid here. No red fluid there. I don't think. Don't see any anywhere. I think we're okay. Before I put the intercooler back, I cleaned off this blue pitch stop, and you should all just admire how blue it is. Look at the World Rally blue. It's so shiny. Okay, intercooler back on. So waiting for everything to charge. I think power steering's pretty set. So in the meantime, we have pseudo braking leg propped up there. And I'm gonna try and bleed the brakes some more. We got our tail lights that are functional, and then the tail light that is sort of functional. I don't know if it'll focus, but those are just 4 incandescent white bulbs. I don't know how you break the red plastic back here, but add that to the list. Like, at least all 4 of those bulbs work. I don't even know how you'd replace those, but anyway, back to the usual. 1 corner at a time. Let's see how it goes. All right. There we go. There's some bubbles. And righty tighty again. Perhaps not. Don't want to get it on my nice new paint. Contingency towel. Now just to do this a bunch more times. So, that's pretty bad, isn't it? I think I just gotta torque that down, hopefully. At least I figured it out now rather than on the road. Well, once again, I'm an idiot. I don't think I ever really torqued those down, which is too bad. They were at like maybe 30 foot-pounds, but went down, or up rather, to 45, 50-ish on the rears, and then definitely at least 50 on the front, which are steel. Never any leaking from the front though, and I just really pounded on the brake just now, and no more leaking. But pretty sketch that both rears were leaking on my nice shiny black caliper paint. Oh well, time to bleed the rest again. Here goes. Gotta do this big old nut before I forget. Got the brake pedal pressed, so hopefully that's good. 130. That seems like a lot. I'm gonna Google it and make sure that's good. Check it out, chat. Right. If it would focus. There. 137 foot-pounds. It's almost like this device that I'm working on is engineered, and there's actually answers for stuff if you actually look it up, but you could just also, you know, vibe it out. So I was at 130. Let's go to 137 exactly on my Duralast torque wrench. Also, brakes, you know, holding on just fine. No slipping. So hopefully that means brakes are bled. That's 137. Now I just gotta, you know, Leonardo or Galileo, whoever the sculptor guy is, I gotta punch this thing over. So let me turn the wheel around. One sec. All right, brakes have been released. Hopefully, yeah, there we go. Hammer. It's me, Michelangelo. I think that's overkill, but I think we're good. Okay, on to the next thing. Now, bend the things. And voila. Voila. On to the next one. Ta-da. Just gonna film it. Don't know if you can hear me with the GoPro on my skull, but got the jump starter, everything's connected, right? Yeah, moment of truth. At least I know it'll start. Gotta hook up the fuel pump. At least it's just a connector down here. Alright. And now is the jump starter still on? Oh. Let's try this again. 9 volts, yeah, that's not gonna be enough. Alright, now it's at 16.
Oh, that's weird.
And now I should be able to go. There we go. Well, I sure couldn't do this before. Wheel-to-wheel lock on gravel. And I'm not even trying that hard. Check engine light's on, but let's just ignore that. I wonder if that's because of the clock spring thing. That might be it. Oh yeah. She's a beaut. She's turning like no other. Brakes are also feeling better for sure. I'll do one more check here. Well, fluid's still at the top. Nice. No obvious leaks. Alright. We did it, kind of. No squeaky steering. It's almost like nostalgic that it's not squeaking though. Brakes feel decent now after bleeding again. I don't know if you can see freaking anything from that GoPro. You're probably looking at the ceiling, huh? Oh, there she goes. Oh, thank God it started. Man, this car feels so much better. Power steering, brakes. Finally, a success, kind of. Do I get Vivaldi? Holy cow. Partsgeek, you fucked me. But I still win. Now if that check engine light will just go away, maybe I can get past emissions. You have Christmas music playing over there? Dang, they're into it. It's the 26th, come on. Anyway, here's how to keep your Recaros clean from your greasy ass. I mean like the car grease on the ground that's on my jeans, alright? Don't be weird. Merry Christmas Eve, Lucy. You just want my cheese, don't you?